Hey guys, welcome back to A Gut Feeling. We are continuing the new series, which I am loving, and I know that everyone else is loving. I've got some great feedback because people want to know, what can I do for a specific symptom I'm experiencing? Like all this time over the years, I've just been talking about gut issues in general or bloating, but we need to break down these issues a little bit more so you guys can understand exactly what you need to do for each symptom. So last week we talked about constipation. I did a little poll on Instagram to see what people are experiencing other than constipation, these ailments, and heartburn came up number one. Can you believe it? I did not think that was going to be a thing, but it definitely did. And there's a reason why so many people are suffering from heartburn right now. We will definitely dig into that in just a second. But I want to talk to you guys about this product that I have been loving so much, specifically meal delivery service that is completely 100% JRW approved, which I'm telling you guys, this never happens. I never feel like a company has everything that I wanted to have. And so once I found this company, I was so impressed. And even just the transition that they've gone through to become how amazing they are today. So if you're local to Michigan, the company is Golden State Chef Co. Okay. So what it is you can pick it up or you can have it delivered right to your front door with a cooler, which is really awesome. And all the meals that I have seen their process inside of the facility and everything, it's super pristine, clean facility. The Chef Ryan, is amazing. He's always coming up with the coolest combinations. Every single meal is gluten-free, dairy-free. They have soy-free, sugar-free options as well. And they have both paleo and vegan options, which is great. So for any nutritional protocol or diet you find yourself on for your gut healing journey, they have something for you. And also, for the exciting part, they also have little sweet treats like their little peanut butter balls and different stuff like that, is just good for a little snack in the afternoon. The even better part about Golden State Chef Co. is that all of their packages are completely plant-based and eco-friendly. So here's the thing. I've seen a lot of service places like this, a lot of places that have these to-go meals. 99.9% of the time they're in plastic and it's not recyclable or it's not BPA free. Think about it. They're putting your hot food into a poor quality piece of plastic, and that plastic is just leaking into your food. At Golden State Chef Co., like I said, they are completely plant-based, so you're getting both clean food and a clean container that it comes in, which, we care a lot about the environment here. So it's really amazing. Every week there's a new menu. So, I get super excited to see what they have going on. Usually there's some kind of amazing, ethnic dish like a shawarma or something like that. They always have like a signature salad, salmon, these delicious lentil vegan dishes that I don't even know how they put them together. And I love to cook, you guys, so I don't know what they're doing in there. It's just amazing. So yummy and delicious. The convenience factor is incredibly amazing. I know specifically for you guys that are listening, because guys are usually more apt to be like, I just need to pick something up. And it's great because you can pop in during their open hours, grab and go, or you can have it delivered right to your house. You guys, twist my arm. This is so easy. And I wanted to bring this company to you because I know so many of you are struggling with working really hard. Many of you are even going back to the office, which, is hard because you were home being able to have accessibility and cook. And so this is the best thing to just pick these up or have them delivered. So, you're eating healthy, you're getting good quality ingredients. They're using local and over 90% organic. So it's a really great place. So just for you, I have something very special. And of course, Golden State is offering it too. You can use my code JRW, all caps, for 20% off your first order. I'm like, it's time to stock up. If that's what they're offering, I'm going to go in and buy a bunch of meals and go ahead and freeze them just so I have them. They're good to go. You can use that in inside the facility, or you can use it in your online order for delivery as well too. So don't forget to use the code JRW. It's on Crooks and Catalpa in Royal Oak for those that are super, super local. And you get that 20% off the first order. So I hope that's super helpful for you guys. I have at least 50% of my client using Golden State Chef Co., especially because they're on very specific diets like gluten-free, dairy-free, these kind of things. And it makes it super easy so you don't have to stress or worry about it. So check it out and let me know what you think. I want to hear your feedback. So if you do try Golden State Chef Co. or you have tried it in the past, leave a comment below, shoot me an email, Jaclyn at Jaclyn Renee Wellness. We love to hear how you love the stuff that we bring to you because we search so hard for it and we love you so much. So check it out. In the meantime, let's get back to talking about our symptoms. Today, it's all about heartburn. And I kind of just segued there from talking about gluten-free, dairy-free diets and the things that you need to do to get healthy for your gut. It's most and obviously going to flow into what we need to do for experiencing a symptom like heartburn. So when I started to put together my podcast for heartburn, I was like, well, let me check some statistics because I know that heartburn often leads to GERD. GERD is esophageal reflux disease. So we want to make sure, what is causing heartburn and what are these statistics? Listen to this. Between 20 to 30% of adult Americans experience acid reflux symptoms every week. That's a lot, 20 to 30%. And then, in fact, of that, even more people experience heartburn at some point in their life, just even if it's not weekly. At some point, they're experiencing it. So it's definitely happening a lot. And then 10% of those Americans will experience that heartburn every day. So you have 10% who are experiencing every day. You have 20, 30% of experiencing every week. And at some point, every American experiences heartburn at some point in their life. Like, raise your hand if you've experienced heartburn on some level. And I do too. Even when I'm watching what I eat and everything, a lot of it is our modern lifestyle and the way that food has changed. But it is uncomfortable. And no wonder it was the number one symptom that came up on my Instagram poll as why people are struggling with this symptom, right? So let's get something straight, though. I want to set the record straight. Heartburn is not normal, okay? I know it's very normalized. There are hundreds of commercials for antacids, these little fun bug characters that come on the screen and joke about taking a Tums to help the heartburn go down or put out the fire. But it's actually very counterproductive to take an antacid when you're having heartburn. And I'm going to explain why, okay? So typically someone who experiences heartburn has low acidity. Yes, I said low acidity because you're thinking, but I have heartburn. It feels like I have a lot of acid. So I want to take an antacid, right? Wrong. The thing is if you have low acidity, it will create heartburn because you don't have enough acid to break down your food. So it just starts to come up and create this acid reflux problem. If you take an antacid, you will take down that specific heartburn that's going on, that burn, but you keep diminishing your reserve of hydrochloric acid or your reserve of acid to be able to continue to break down food. And that is a vicious cycle. Over and over, we're now experiencing, we have low acid, we can't break down our food, we get heartburn, we take an antacid, we reduce our amount of hydrochloric acid to break down food. Do you see this cycle? Do you see how it's not helping? So is an antacid helpful when you have heartburn? Yes, for the time being, but it's causing more problems later, which is basically how we look at, Western medicine today is it will help that specific cause, what's happening on the outside, but it's not fixing the root cause on the inside. And today, most importantly, if you are experiencing heartburn, I want you to leave this podcast knowing what you need to do to heal on the inside for the root cause of heartburn and not just taking an antacid to cover it up. All right, are you with me? I can guarantee so because I know how uncomfortable heartburn is and I know I don't want to experience it ever again. So What is low acidity? All right. Now, we talked about that heartburn is really from having low acidity. But what is low acidity and how does it happen? Now, medically, it's referred to as hypercholidria or lack of hydrochloric acid, okay? A deficiency of hydrochloric acid in the stomach. Now, this may be a little obvious to some of you, but maybe not to others. So I want to break it down. The stomach is its own organ. So when we say things like, I have a stomach ache, usually we're pointing to our belly. And the belly is actually where the intestines are, not really where the stomach is. The stomach is a little higher. Now, sharp shooting stomach pains, you will feel a little higher. If you are just bloated or you feel bad from the food you ate, that's more of like a intestine ache. But nobody's saying I have an intestine, walking around and saying I have an intestine ache. They're saying tummy or stomach, which is the organ that is connected to the esophagus and on the other end connected to your intestines. So it makes sense. It's like this connector in between the esophagus and the intestines. And if it's not working, if it's not connecting right, of course, things will go up and down in the wrong way, meaning heartburn up or constipation, diarrhea, bloating, gas down, because the stomach isn't breaking down food with this low acidity. Does that make sense? Does that click a little light on for you guys that are listening, especially those who are experiencing it on a more chronic level? So, low stomach acid is one of the number one reasons why people experience heartburn. And the reason is when you don't make enough hydrochloric acid, the stuff that we're talking about, this, deficiency of hydrochloric acid, then you can't break down the food you eat all the way. So let's say I have low stomach acid. I eat a taco salad. I don't know why I thought taco salad. It just came to my head. Maybe I'm craving one. So I go ahead and eat a taco salad. I think I'm doing right by my body. It's healthy, it has good veggies on it. I'm chewing it and it goes into my stomach. And I am someone who is now experiencing long-term chronic low acidity. Now, there are digestive enzymes that are released from the liver and the pancreas and the gallbladder, breaking down fats and, proteins and all that. And then the stomach is like the mixing bowl where all of that gets mixed in and we break it down. But if we're not producing that much acid, the food doesn't get broken down all the way. So it's like, imagine the food like half digested, half, broken down. And now it gets dumped into your intestines, into the colon, right? That food is now toxic to your body because it is not fully digested into bile. Bile is the liquid that we want to create to go through the intestines. And because the intestines don't digest food anymore, they just really pass it through and provide the nutrients and absorb the nutrients. Now we have undigested food in this stream, and that can ferment in the intestines, causing bacterial overgrowth, causing inflammation to the gut lining, causing bloating, constipation, gas, diarrhea, because it's just sitting there and fermenting and bacteria is now growing on it. Does that make sense? So if we don't back up and say, well, I need to address what's going on in the stomach to break down my food before it even gets to my intestines, this is where the root cause is. Now, for any of you that have been following along with the 5 steps to reduce bloat and you're chewing more and you're doing food combining, all of this will definitely help with heartburn. But if you're also continuously experiencing this issue where it comes up, this is the extra element. We'll call it the step 6 to reduce bloat and also heartburn, because here is what will happen when you start to take hydrochloric acid if you have low acidity. You will be able to finally break down food so that it is completely churned into bile, into the intestines, leaving nothing fermented, leaving no undigested food behind, and everything just flows nicely all the way through, and we have no symptoms, much better digestion, and happy person, obviously. So how do we fix it, right? Because I'm telling you that you have low acidity if you're listening and you have heartburn. and that we need to do this and do that. But how do we get into a point where we're actually fixing the low acidity issue? Because it is our modern lifestyle, it is our age, it happens as we get older, it just happens with our diet, environment, lifestyle, all those things that we start to reduce less acid. So now we need to figure out what we need to do to help create more stomach acid naturally so that we can digest better, period. Okay. So the first thing that you need to do to help this issue with heartburn / low acidity is actually to remove acidic foods. Yes, I know you're like, this doesn't make sense. You just said I have low acidity. Why would I want acidic foods? But the thing is that these acidic foods are causing more issues in the stomach for it to be able to create the hydrochloric acid. It's causing inflammation, which disrupts the stomach lining. It disrupts the esophagus lining. It disrupts the intestinal lining and everything else that comes into contact along the way. And it's creating sort of like a combustion. So this is one of those times where you're just going to have to trust me, because I know you're looking at me like, wait, this is just so weird. She says I have low acidity. Now I got to take out high acidity foods. But trust me, it's the right type of acid you need to break down these foods. So what is the wrong type of acid? I'm going to give you guys a list of foods that are highly acidic, that are great to take out of your diet now to help reduce heartburn naturally without doing anything else. I get that this list is pretty extensive and, in very shocking, but you can do it one by one and see what triggers your heartburn the most. Okay. So caffeine, number one, coffee, super acidic. The coffee and the beans are super acidic and can really disrupt the lining of the esophagus and stomach. So caffeine, coffee, it's got to go. Alcohol, very inflammatory. We know this. Sugar and all forms of sugar, not fruit, not natural sugar, stuff like that, but white synthetic sugar, high fructose corn syrup, also aspartame. You guys, like diet soda, diet pop, we got to cut that aspartame out because that is definitely wearing away the gut lining and the esophagus lining too. Red meat, citrus foods, tomatoes, processed foods. This is more of the list that we need to start slowly taking away, these acidic foods, to allow the stomach lining to heal. Okay, so work on that a little bit. In the meantime, you can also integrate some healing elements. So point 2 is really to add in the healing elements. So we take out the acid. Now we want to do some healing. When we do that, the first thing we want to do is to start taking aloe vera juice. Okay, so we know what happens if I walk out of the studio right now and I trip and fall, and let's say I scrape the top of my hand. Thankfully, that's the only thing that happened, right? And I get a cut. Over the next couple days, that cut is going to try to heal. It's going to signal to my immune system to create inflammation to start healing this open sore. Okay, so it starts to get red, it starts to get itchy, it starts to form a scab. That is a positive inflammation experience to heal. Now we know using the plant aloe to put it on this cut will heal it faster. We've seen it with our own eyes. Our moms have probably been telling us for years, put some aloe on it, and then we know it heals better and faster and less scarring. So if it works on the outside of the body, why wouldn't it work on the inside of the body? So I usually recommend to clients to start with about a quarter cup of fresh organic aloe vera juice, no sugar added. Check the back. They are so sneaky, these little natural foods companies, I swear. About a quarter cup in the morning and a quarter cup at night. You can chase it with water, put it in with water, no doubt. And that will start to heal the cuts that are in the stomach lining or in the esophagus to sort of put the fire out. Not the good fire, the Agni, but the bad fire, this acidic, sort of cycle that you're in. Okay. Then you want to add in things like anti-inflammatory foods to help, heal more, to help bring that level of healing in just a little bit higher along with the aloe. So things like ginger, turmeric, bone broth, cooked leafy greens that have so many vitamins and nutrients, and herbs like parsley and cilantro. Get it cleansing, get it going. It's nice to have a really good broth with some herbs and spices in it, and that is very healing as well. We can get that moving in the right direction. Not to mention that bone broth, in addition, has the gelatin and the collagen that's very helpful for healing the stomach lining too. So add those healing elements in, take out the acidic foods. The third thing that you want to do, and this is probably, I will say, the easiest way out, but it's also very helpful for anyone where the other stuff just isn't working and you want to get off antacids, because it's like being stuck on a Ferris wheel where you just keep going around and around and you're never getting off if you're taking them. So in this case, you want to take digestive enzymes with hydrochloric acid. So for short, you'll see it on a lot of supplements called HCL. Now, these HCL supplements, or the digestive enzymes that have hydrochloric acid, will help your body create the hydrochloric acid. So it will produce more breaking down acid for you, which is great because you're not producing it on your own, and will help reduce these heartburn symptoms. If you can break down your food better, you will have less heartburn, you will have less bloating, and all of the other symptoms. Now, you're going to want to start slow when you are incorporating HCL enzymes anytime, okay? So for those of you that are watching, the link right here is for the HCL enzyme. If you're listening, it's in the show notes. And you can go to my supplement dispensary. It is through the company that I love named Thorne. It's the HCL betaine and papain digestive enzyme, all right? So you want to start with one about 20 minutes before meals. This will help your body to start creating the acid. Once it starts to create the acid, then you can eat, and it helps you to break down that food, especially acidic food. So you can always test that out too. Now, if it doesn't cause heartburn for you, that is good, but you want to keep going. You want to now introduce two to see if it helps you break down your food more. Now, some people need only one, and some people need up to 3 or 4 of these to be able to break down their food and not get heartburn. And so it really is a trickle effect of understanding what you need to do. And I know this can be so confusing. Like, do I take 1? Do I take 3? Where do I order it from? What do I do? I don't want to overwhelm you. I want to make this super easy for you. But I can't see you. I can't talk to you. I don't know who you are. I want to help you. Book that complimentary discovery call. Get on the 20-minute call with me. Let's talk about what you have going on. Let's see if we can shift some supplements and get you into a program that'll help you, because at the end of the day, the help is really, the guidance is really where it will get you to faster than any other quick fix 15-day diet or anything like that, right? So recapping here, what we want to do is remove the acidic foods. We want to introduce healing foods and aloe as a healing element to sort of calm the state of fire you're in. And then we want to add the HCL enzyme or hydrochloric acid to help you produce more acidity so you can break down this food. So I hope this has been helpful for you guys. I know that it's hard when you're struggling with digestive issues. There can be a myriad of symptoms. You're not just like, oh, I only have heartburn, or I only have bloating, or this. It kind of is a combination of everything. Again, this is why I have my discovery call, because I can help you figure out from your health history, your symptoms, whatever you have going on, how to put it together. And it can be way more simple than, I promise it's way more simple than whatever you've been doing over there, Googling, doing random diets from books and trying to figure out what's going on. It's great to have a coach to help peel back the layers step by step to get you to where you need to be for your gut health journey, because I can get you there way faster than the Google/book route. So I hope this has been helpful for you. Again, if you have any additional questions, you can always email me, Jaclyn at jaclynrenewellness.com. Book that discovery call for sure. It's totally free, and I want to connect with you. We get to connect face to face, so it's pretty dope. And in the meantime, check out the other ones of the Symptom series. We got the next one coming up next week. I'm super excited to bring it to you. We're going to be talking about anxiety and how it relates to the brain-gut connection, because it is a major side symptom of people with digestive issues. So stay tuned. Thank you guys so much for listening. Don't forget to click subscribe and leave me a review. I would be so, so, so grateful. Happy healing.